to catch a little interview. Yeah, we try to do this every show, and we always have the opportunity to talk to somebody who has the chance to either call in or actually get to the studios here. And this has been going on for about a year now, and we appreciate it as we have the opportunity to talk to somebody each and every show. We're very excited. And today's no different. We're very happy to have on board another great artist that is doing some stuff in the country music world. And his name is Lance Stinson, and he hails from Lumber City, South Georgia. Hey, Lance, how are you?
Doing great, Casey. How are you?
I am awesome. How's the weather where you're at?
Oh, it's actually really nice. I'm in the L.A. right now. I'm in Burbank, and we're doing a little work out this way, and it's actually really nice here. It's about 65 degrees and sunshine.
Wow. No, that's not what I'm looking at. So I'm just going to come to your world. How's that sound?
Well, come on and join us. Get on that plane and come on over.
Sounds like a plan. It sounds like right after the interview. So make sure you pick me up at the airport.
I'll be glad to.
So this is Lance Stinson, and like I said, you hail from Georgia. So now you're in California.
I'm way down in South Georgia. Yeah, that's where I'm from, born and raised, and will always be home.
And you're a farm boy. You and your bros are farm boys, right?
Yeah, we had a little farm, and then my family run a restaurant and still do until this day for almost 35 years. So I was raised to work hard.
Yeah. Well, you know what, and that's what it takes sometimes to make your dreams come true. But
if you want something bad enough, you're gonna have to work hard for it.
Absolutely.
The good things are hard to come by.
Yep, absolutely. Especially in today's society with, so much of the world out there at everybody's fingertips. You know what I mean? You got some stiff competition going on out there, and you got to make a stand for yourself.
You do. I mean, and I love to collaborate. With different artists and writers and stuff like that. And I feel like a lot of back in the day, all the artists used to, they'd jump in cars and ride from town to town and play shows together, and they work together as groups. And I'm not, a lot. It's still going on. There's a lot more going on now than there were a few years ago with that. But a lot of people are, it's more about me, and not what we can do as a group and a whole for country music. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. It's about the music, and it's about the fans. To me, that's what it's all about.
Well, that's good that you have that. Because I think sometimes it gets lost.
It does, and the music sometimes gets lost in the business, and and it happens, and everybody's guilty of it, and you just got to push on through it and keep your eye on the ball with what your goal is and what you're trying to accomplish by doing what you're doing, whether it's music or anything. You know what I mean? So.
Sure. Hey, listen, why don't we step back for just a quick second and kind of give our fans a little bit about where you're coming from, how you kind of got started. I mean, obviously you're a hard worker and you're out there and you're producing music and you're writing songs and you're releasing music and stuff like that. But let's just kind of reminisce for just a minute and give everybody an idea of exactly where you do come from. I know we touched on the farm and the restaurant just a little bit, but a little bit more background, Lance. Tell our listening audience, how did you get where you're at? I mean, hard work, I understand that, but...
A lot of good people helped me get to where I'm at. I didn't do it all on my own, and I like to give credit where credit's due. My grandmother always said, and I've heard my dad say it many a times, that if you ever see a turtle on top of a pole, he didn't get there by himself. Someone helped him up there. You know what I mean? But, I started singing in church when I was 8 years old. We did in a Christmas play, and I just love to sing. I love to entertain people. So, and then when I got my first guitar when I was 8, not 10 years old, started picking and playing. And when I was going to high school, some buddies of mine also were musicians, and we formed a little band in high school. We started playing some small clubs on out, some festivals and stuff like that, and it just kind of broke off from there. And I made my first couple trips to Nashville when I was a teenager, and met some great people, and right on, and kept commuting back and forth, and this will be my second record that I'm working on, and I just love the whole process of it, But a good old boy from down in Georgia.
Now you're
pretty much what I am. I like to hunt, fish, and pick and grin.
you're out there doing a lot of performing. I mean, you're talking about, what, 200 gigs in a year? You're out there really putting yourself out there, right?
We have really worked very hard this year, and like I said, all the guys in my band and the people that help us on the road, you know, the crews and all the promotion people, you know, and everybody, just a whole part of the group that makes the thing happen, like radio personalities like you that, you know, that have our, and help push our music out there and for other people to hear.
Right.
You know, and it's all about the whole thing, and we love the whole part of all the what we're trying to accomplish. You know, we're just trying to get the music out there for everyone to enjoy, and that way we can, you know, continue to have the coolest job for us in the world, and that's to play music for people.
Now,
You know?
your people have put you in front of some pretty big guns too, which of course is really nice for the experience.
It was a lot of experience, you know, and I always remember, you know, to go out there and I didn't, when my show was over, I didn't go and, you know, jump on the bus or, you know, head back to the hotel or whatever. I stayed there and watched the person that, you know, I was opening for, and watched what they do, and not only while they were performing, like what they were doing before to the show. I mean, I've seen them play basketball and, you know, and run and jog and all kinds of stuff, you know, and it's just the whole process of what they were doing. If I want to be at that level that they're at, you know, I fairly, you know, I could get some great experience by watching them and see what they do, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people that I vote for are super nice, every one of them, and they're all, you know, they're all really caring, and they're like, you know, we love your music, you know, I hope you do well. If there's anything we can do, you know, and lots of them, you know, I opened one time for them, and they said, man, we really like you, you know, won't you want to next month come out and do these shows with us, you know, and it was great, and I learned a lot from it, you know, a lot from it.
Well, that's how you're going to hone who you are and how you perform is by taking a little from this person, a little from that person, and then you hone your skills with all the things that are working for you. I mean, that's just something that, you know, maybe it gets lost a little. You know, some people just are like head determined on, okay, this is what I want to do, and da-da-da-da-da, but to get out there, you know, you got to kind of hone you've got to hone your talents. You know what I mean?
That too, and you've got to really, you know, you look at what the people that are following you, like your fans, what they're looking for, what they're expecting, you know, and I kind of learned that back in the day, and even now we still play clubs, you know. Back when we were younger, you know, you feel, you know, you have to be able to read your crowd, like what are they here for? You know, they spent their money to come in here and see you play,
right,
have a good time, and it's your job to entertain those folks.
Right.
They leave here, want to know when you're coming back, so they can come back and do it again. You know, that's the whole thing. The whole point about it is the fans coming out and enjoying themselves and enjoying your music.
Yeah,
and that's what it's all about.
That's it.
And I look at it when I'm picking songs for an album or writing songs and this and that and the other. You know, lots of times it is about my personal experience or a friend of mine or an idea I come up with. You know, we get ideas from fans on the road. You know, they tell us their stories and, you know, things good that happen in their life, the bad things. You know, and you kind of take and come off of those with them, you know, and write stuff. Because the people coming out to see you and love your music is the ones you need to cater to, I guess you want to say in a way. You
right.
know what I mean?
Well, sure.
To make them happy because, you know, they're our boss.
Yeah.
You know, they may not want to say this, but they're the ones paying us to do our job.
Right.
You know, they're the ones buying the tickets, buying the T-shirts, buying the CDs. You know, that's what it's, you know, we're doing our job, and they're giving us the opportunity to do it with our passion, something we love to do. So, and I feel like it's an honor every time I get the opportunity to play for people.
Awesome. Now, you mentioned that you're also a writer. You're a singer and songwriter.
I do.
Now, let's focus in a little bit on the music that you're talking about. Some of the songs that you have on your new CD. We're going to feature one or two of them for you today. What's one of them that you think is a good home run? What you know? And did you write it? Tell us a little story about something of yours that's on this new CD.
There's several songs. Actually, the two songs that the one that we've already had out off the new record that we're working on is "Tell Lights and Dust," which is a friend of mine that's actually producing my record, Tom Drennan, and we were looking for stuff because, you know, most of the stuff that I like to write are story songs or, you know, ballad songs, which, you know, are not really party songs kind of per se. And we were looking for more upbeat stuff, and he's like, he reached out to some of his friends. There's a guy, Dean Sams, which is the piano player for Lone Star, and Tom are really good friends, and, you know, he'd heard some other stuff, and he's like, man, you know, I've got lots of stuff if you're looking for songs, you know. So that's where "Till Lights and Dust" come from. The first time I heard it, I was like, man, I love that song. I can look at it and I can say, I've been there. That's the kind of stuff we do down home, and a lot of my fans do that kind of stuff. They love to ride dirt roads. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? and have fun. You know, they work hard till Friday, you know,
Well, that's
and they get their check and they go out and have a good time.
well, yeah, that's the connection that you're going to get with your fans. You know.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, that's, you know, if they can relate to it, if you pick a song that they can relate to and look at and kind of go, hey, you're talking about my life here, that's going to go a long way with the loyalty of your friendship, of your fan base.
That's what you're trying to do out there. You know, you're trying to connect with them, and the only way you're going to connect with them is if you have something that they can relate to.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And, you know, not just that song, it's just like Whiskey. You know, it's more of a ballad, kind of a sad song about a guy losing his wife, you know.
Uh-huh.
And there's lots of people that's been through that. I've been through that myself, you know, and I can relate to that. So I think, you know, that's the kind of stuff that I want to put on the record. You know, I want to put stuff that people's going to cry to, and they're going to laugh to, and they're going to dance to, they're going to be happy to and sad to.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But I think that makes a great album.
Nice. Well, I think what we're going to do, Lance, is we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with that Tailgates and Dust tune. And then if you can hang in there, I'd appreciate that. And we'll touch base on a little bit about how people can find you and, you know, all the social media stuff. But we're going to give a listen to your song, a little something called Taillights and Dust from Lance Stinson, coming up right after the break. Lance, you going to hang in there?
We'll definitely do.
All right, there you go. More with Lance Stinson and his music. And there you go, some Lance Stinson right here on Wall to Wall Country and Penns Peak Radio off of his latest EP, Tail Lights and Dust. And man, you weren't kidding. That is rocking.
It is a very rocking song. It's a very fun song. It's a fun song to perform and see our fans that come out and follow us and support us, sing along every word, and you know, they enjoy that song as much as not more than we do. You know, and it's great. It's a great team.
That's awesome. Now, what EP is this on? Tell us a little bit about how people can find that song.
You can find that song on iTunes. You can go on iTunes. You can just go to Google and Google my name. You can find it on Reverb Nation, Google, and Reverb Nation, iTunes, Amazon, and you can get it all right there. You can go to lancestinson.net. And it kind of can take you to our Twitter, you know, for all the social media, Twitter page or Facebook page, Bands in Town. You know, we're all over the social media thing. And we love talking to you guys, newer or old fans. Just connect with us. And if there's anything you want to know, just give us a shout. And we'll be glad to talk with you.
That was going to be one of my questions. And, you know, you were talking about, you know, a little bit of the loss of, you know, maybe not being able to keep up with, you know, some of the, you know, keeping up with everything and not forgetting, you know, your fans and not forgetting where they're from, where you come from and all that kind of stuff. But one of the things I wanted to ask you, and every artist has a different answer to this. Some are on one side, some are on the other side. But you're the Facebook person, you're the Twitter person. You answer mostly what goes on with those when somebody asks you a question.
I do love to, I mean, Facebook, I'm on Facebook. If you send me a message, my phone goes off, and yes, I'll respond right back to you.
Okay.
The Twitter side of it, I will respond back to you, but I may be a little slower getting back to you on that because I'm still new to the Twitter thing.
Yeah, well, join the crowd. I'm new to it, too. I don't understand it.
I will respond back to you if you send me a message. I guarantee it. And if there's anybody out there that I did miss one, send me another one, and I promise I'll get to you. And I love interacting with it. I think social media is a great thing. You know what I mean? Gives you an opportunity to talk to folks and people to get to know you a little better that are, you know, 5,000 miles away from you.
Yeah.
You know, and gives you an opportunity to share your music with people that may have not been able to ever hear your music before, you know?
I think that's one of the biggest...
I think all the social media thing's great.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest differences in, you know, 10, 20 years ago to today. You can almost get that automatic connection right away with your listening audience. Once you get the page up there and people start noticing it, or you throw it out there on a website or whatever, you know, you can get the immediate feedback of what people like and what they don't like. And you were talking about, you know...
That's exactly right.
You know, what kind of music are you going to write? What kind of music are you going to play? And stuff like that. And it helps give you guidance in a way.
Exactly, because, I mean, like I said, you know, I mean, I'm doing this because I love to do it.
Yeah.
Perform live, but we're also doing it for the fans. You know, I want to know hey, Lance, I'd love to hear you do a song like this, or I'd love to hear you, you know, do this or that, the other. And I'm open to any suggestions you've got, and I love talking to people, you know, and and I love to hear their stories, not just only mine. I talk to a lot of the military guys that I'm real big on that. The wounded warriors and just our vets in general. And I love talking with them and hearing their stories. Because like you said, I mean, all of them are so different. They've all had different experiences and stuff like that. And I'm glad they do what they do. Because without them, I would not be sitting by this pool in L.A. talking to you on the radio, on the phone, on the radio show. I think a lot of people don't really give them the credit where they're due. I mean, they're getting paid to do that job, but they don't get paid nowhere near what's worth for what they sacrifice for us.
Sure. Absolutely.
And I wish I could do more for them, and I try to do everything I can when I can for them. And if there's any out there, give me a shout. I'd love to hear your story. I'd love to talk with you.
And one of the easiest way to do it is either off the website, or you can go to facebook.com/Stinson Lance. You have your name switched on that one.
I have it backwards.
Okay.
Which is a long story, and we won't get into that.
Okay. All right. Well, I just wanted to make sure people aren't looking for Lance Stinson when it's Stinson Lance.
You go to Facebook and you just put Lance Stinson in, it'll pop up.
Oh, okay.
Go to my page, and you just go to it, hit like, and you're automatically a fan. And if you want to send me a message, just hit the message button and send me a message, and I'll get a little tweak to it on my phone, and I'll respond back to you.
Well, there you go. You should have just gotten mine, because I thought I did that the other day, and apparently I did not. But you've been doing some fun stuff. I see you were on the Entertainment Tonight. You were on the Insider. That looks like that was fun.
I was out in Vegas a few months back. I think it was back in June last year, and I made a lot of friends with a lot of people, and I was planning to come out doing it in January to come out to L.A., and they're like, man, when you come, here's my number, give me a call. I'd love to have you come over to here and there, and hey, when I got here and I had a little downtime, I'm like, I'm gonna ring them up, and they took me around and treated me like a king. And I was like just blown away at all the, how the whole operation of putting a TV show like that together.
Yeah.
You watch it for whatever it is, 20, 30 minutes on TV, and you're like, man, that seems pretty easy. And there's a lot more to it than that 20 or so 30 minutes you see on TV, believe me. But it's real cool how they put it together. Really cool.
Well, that's awesome.
It was an honor to be there with them. I appreciate them inviting me.
You have, that's interesting that you got to do that on there. And, I'm seeing that you went to the Disney and stuff like that. And it's kind of cool. And I think one of the other things that social media does is, and this is not meant in a bad way, but, years ago when there was an artist, sometimes it ended up where they were on a pedestal, and it felt that they were untouchable, like they were not a normal, everyday person. And one of the things that I think social media does is and this is not in a bad way, but it kind of brings you down to everybody's level and let people, you are just a guy, you are a dad, you are a husband.
I put my britches on every day just like everybody else does, or, all the other artists that I played with are the same way. That's like I was telling you. Just everyone I've been on the road with are just super nice people. I'm a huge fan of Jamie Johnson. I got to do a couple shows with him. Super nice guy, real laid back. Wanted to hang out with me more than and it wasn't me going and saying, hey, can I hang out with you? He come and asked if he can hang out with us.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are like that. We're just normal people, and it's not just me. It's movie stars, actors. And I think a lot of times people get a little, I'm misled about it is, because like these movie stars or, your big time singers, it's really hard for them to actually just go out to Walmart or to somewhere and, not be bombarded. And I think it's not that people, I think people just don't think about it before they do it. And a lot of them are super nice. A lot of them just, they'll walk up and shake your hand, give you an autograph or whatever. But it's really hard for them to go out and just enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
Sometimes it makes it a little hard on them.
Yeah.
To me, it don't bother me at all. I love talking to people. I was raised that way. And working in the pub or the restaurant, you have to talk to people. And I love people.
Yeah.
So, and it's just different in so many different ways. But they're just human beings. They're just like you. Just like you and just like me. They're no different. They just have the opportunity to have a gift, and everybody love what they do.
And they get to share it. You know what I mean? Just like your talent. You get to share it with people. It's neat to be able to do that, Nice.
That's right.
Well, you were mentioning your other song before, and I'd like to get on that real quick. Your other song, Whiskey, and I know you mentioned a little bit about it. Is this something you wrote, or is this a song that again was presented to you?
This is actually not a song that I've written. This was a song that I heard years and years ago.
Okay.
When I was actually working on my other record, and I'd already finished my other record, and it was one of those songs that I just could not get out of my head, for 3 years, and I was like, and we were actually, I was writing stuff, and they were, my producer was bringing me stuff, like, listen to this, and it happened to be one of the songs that he brought to me, and I'm like, man, I've heard that song, and I've known that song for like 4 years. I love that song. I said, and I would love to do that song, and I was friends with the people that wrote that song, and Mindy Campbell was the writer of that song with a Rick Tiger also was a co-writer on that, which are two super nice people. Mindy is actually Craig Campbell's wife, and I've known Craig for years. He's down from where I'm from. We were born and raised about 30 miles from each other, and I just loved it. And they said, yeah, you could, go with it. And I love the song because I can relate to that song.
Okay.
And I loved it back then. I knew I'd already finished my other record before I could get it done to put it on there. So, and it's something I think a lot of people can relate to.
All right. Well,
and that's why I wanted it to be a part of this album.
Well, we're going to give it a listen, and we're going to take a little bottom of the hour ID break, and then we're going to give Whiskey a listen from Lance Stinson coming up right after. You can hang in there for a few more minutes, buddy.
I will be glad to, Casey.
All right. We'll be back with more Lance in just a quick minute. We got to do the bottom of the hour ID and another one of his songs off of his album. And remember, you can find him on the web. You can find him on Facebook, and his music is iTunes. If you just Google him or search him, you'll be able to find him and get your hands on this music. But let's give it a listen. Coming up in a moment, a little something called Whiskey from Lance Stinson right here on Penn Speak Radio and Wall to Wall Country. LanceStinson.net is the website, and you can also find him on Facebook and Twitter and iTunes and all that kind of great stuff. And Lance, you were telling me this one, as well as your other one, is doing pretty good on some charts, right? You had some voting going on there.
It's doing real well. Yeah, Tell Lies and Dust was was on the New Country Top 40 Countdown chart, and it was number one for 4 weeks, and it was on the chart for over 18 weeks. In the top 15, so and it was an honor, and it's fan voted, and it really speaks to me that that people really believe in what we're doing and the music that we're playing and the stuff that we're writing and putting out, and without them, I would it wouldn't be possible, So I give that one and all the other credit to them for making that the hit on that chart for us, and Whiskey is number 4 this past week on that same chart, and thanks, everybody, for voting and keep voting for it. We really appreciate it.
Well, we'll make sure, it continues to be in our rotation here and making sure.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, and making sure that people are getting a chance to hear it. But I want to mention something. We had an email come in from a Mark and Dot, and they said listening to Lance in South Georgia, and I am to let you know that they miss you.
No, I miss you guys too. Mark and Dot are some really great people, and I'm glad that they love my music. I met them I was doing a show down in Valdosta, Georgia, and this has been several months back, and man, we just hit it off, and just again, like I love talking to the people out listening and coming to our shows, and want to be a part of what we're doing,
Right.
And I love that, and I miss you too, Dot and Mark, y'all, and I look forward to seeing you real soon.
Now, you've got some tour dates going on in Georgia and Tennessee. Mm-hmm. You're going to be doing some stuff. And this is, let's see, in January, you got Kingsport, Tennessee. You got a couple shows going on there?
Yeah, I got a couple shows. I'm flying out. I leave here on the 16th in LA, and I fly back to Tennessee. I'm playing 2 shows. I'm playing the Farm Expo on the 17th here today in Kingsport, and then I'm playing a small little club over there that we had played at, back prior back before we ever had the chance to play in Kingsport. They gave us our first shot, so while we're there, we're going to go back and give back a little bit to them over at Biggie's Bar and Grill over there.
Nice.
And then I'm back in Georgia, and then I leave and go back to Tennessee. I'm in Nashville working on some songwriting and some production on the finishing the record that we're working on the 20th and the 21st, 22nd. I'll be in Nashville doing that, and then I'll be back in Georgia. And I've got a show on the 13th in Jessup, Georgia, and then I got a show on the 14th, and I've plenty others. If you want to find more, you can just go to lancestinson.net, and they're all on there. You can schedule and videos. You can actually, check the music out, the songs out before you go and buy. Right there on the website. And
I want to put this out there too. If people from maybe like the north here don't get a chance to get down into your area or whatever, but if they want to see you perform and they want to listen to some of your music on stage, you have a date with a CMA Music Festival coming up in June. I
am. We were nominated to play at the CMA festival this year.
Awesome.
And it's in January. And I'm sorry,
June.
Not January.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my hand slapped for that one.
That's okay. It's in June.
2015, and we're going to be playing that Friday of that week. And it was an honor to be nominated to play there, and I'm looking forward to it. It's a big week in Nashville. Everybody's out there playing for the fans, and I think it's something that everybody should come and check it out. It'd be your opportunity to great music, a lot of new music, a lot of old music, and see the people that you love their music, not just mine. I mean, there'll be everybody from big stars to little stars. Just come on out and see it.
Have you ever been down to the CMA Fanfare Festival down there? Have you ever done that?
I haven't ever done it before. This is my first year, and I'm really excited about it. I've got a lot of friends that are all, musicians and singers too, man. And every year it seems like I'm always busy, but I've got shows here or shows there, and it never has worked out. And this year, when we got nominated for it, and I was like, we just got to make time, or we're going to do it this year. And because it's important. A lot of people come, just for that week.
Yeah.
For that, all the fans and different things, and glad we can do it, and I'm really looking forward to it.
We took
so far that's one of my big highlights for the year for me.
It will be. It's a couple of days, and it turns into a blur. We took for 2 or 3 years, we took busloads of people from our area and drove down, and hooked them up with a hotel room and passes and everything like that. And I mean, it's just 24/7 a blur. But enjoy every minute of it. You never know who you're going to see walking down the street, rubbing elbows with, or whatever the case may be. I mean, it's pretty amazing, and congratulations on that. And I think you're going to have a ball down there.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to have a great time. We're going to have an absolute wonderful time. And I just can't wait for it to get here soon enough.
Well, just a reminder, now that's June 11th through the 14th, and it is in downtown Nashville. I'm almost want to say that if you haven't made your reservations yet, you really need to get on it, because I know a lot of those hotels and stuff book out like a year in advance. But with that said,
if you don't want to have to walk so far.
Yeah, true too. Or take a taxi or whatever. But I mean, it is truly if you've never done it, it's truly one of those things that should be on any country music person's bucket list to go down there and experience that festival, because it's awesome.
That's right.
Well, good luck.
Awesome thing.
Congratulations on everything you have going on, and we wish you the best. The doors are open. I mentioned that to you before. If you ever do get up into our area, and
I'm hoping we will, and I'm gonna come see you.
Yeah, I mean, and just keep in mind too, if you ever have something new going on, in a couple months, you got a big announcement or whatever, make sure your people stay in touch with me. You've got the cell phone. They've got all my contacts, and I'd love to have you back on the show, Lance. Love to have you back.
Oh, absolutely. And hopefully the album will be finished, and we're looking to in the next month or so we'll have an actual date of release, but it's going to be sometime late summer, early fall of this year. So
you get me on the list so I get one. Get me on the list.
Absolutely. I'll send you some. I'll send you some of them to give away to your people down that way.
Oh, they would love it. They love scarfing up all this great country music. Absolutely. They absolutely love it. Speaking of music, let me do this real quick before I forget. Now, this entire show re-airs on a Sunday morning, so if you're listening to us on a Wednesday, and we're kind of bringing the interview down now, if you've missed any of Lance and his music or whatever, you want to hear more about it, make sure you check in on the Sunday show. Re-airs right here on PennsPeakRadio.com. The show starts at 8. The interview's always in the second hour, and you can catch everything you would have already missed if you're listening on a Wednesday. And your Lance's information will be up on my wall-to-wall country page until Monday with all of his links, his web, his Facebook, and his Twitter. And make sure you get in touch with this guy and find out how you can get your hands on his music. But we want to close out the show at the end with just one more song. Lance, what tune would you like me to round out the show today? In a couple of hours, what song would you like me to play for your
I
folks?
think it's a song that made me, actually it's a song that got me to actually tour a lot of those artists you were talking about earlier, the bigger guys, and back a few years ago. And it's just another one of those good old party, good country songs, you know. And it's a song called Hold My Beer and Watch This.
Sounds like a fun tune, and I'm looking forward to
It is
playing
a
it.
very fun song.
And everybody out there, they're just going to have to wait to the end of the show to hear it, because that's how I get them in on the hook.
Yeah.
You know, you reel them in and keep them here.
Awesome.
And we'll be playing that.
It's one you don't want to miss, guys. I promise. It's a great song. I think everybody will enjoy it.
Good. Well, that'll come up at the end of the show. Just a reminder, make sure you find Lance Stinson on the web at lancestinson.net. Facebook, switch the names a little bit. Just kind of switch his first and last name around, and you'll find him. And, of course, on iTunes and Amazon and all those great places, you can find his music. And I want to say again, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, Lance, and spending some time with us here on Wall to Wall Country.
I enjoyed it, Casey. It was an honor for you having me. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, stay in touch, my friend. Safe travels back to Georgia. And hope to hear from you soon about some new news.
I will. I will definitely let you know as soon as something comes around for it. Okay?
All right. Take care, Mr. Lance.